morning guys, Gem here and back again for another video, and today I want to talk to you good folk about Game of the Year 2018, as it is literally that time of the year as I film this. It is the 13th of November and today we will find out a definitive list of exactly what games are going to be lodged into whatever category, and there is obviously a lot of speculation, not just among gamers but among critics as well. So by the time this goes out we will have the list, but I think with my predictions and based on kind of what's going online, I think we pretty much know which games are going to be in that top category of Game of the Year. And we've actually had a lot of we've had a lot of discussion about this in my live streams. So before we dive into that, I'm going to be referring to a source on digitaltrends.com. They've actually put together some really really nice category predictions all the way down, and so we'll be referring to that. But I just want to take some time to reflect on 2018 because I think that it has been such a good year for game releases across all platforms, especially the Nintendo Switch with the likes of Octopath Traveler, Mario Tennis Aces. I mean, we've really had a plethora of titles coming out on the Switch this year, and I definitely think that we'll see that oozing into 2019. Now, at the start of 2019, we've still got plenty to look forward to, like the Resident Evil 2 remake is going to be one of my absolute, I'm so pumped for that. I think from now, moving forward, now Red Dead 2's out, Resident Evil 2 is I'm so hyped for that. I can't even contain myself. I'm so stoked. I'll be streaming it, so make sure you guys hit subscribe so we can go through it together. But let's take a look, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. This is not a definitive list. I don't actually know. This is all speculation, but nonetheless, we're going to be discussing it. So I'm going to get straight to it. If my phone actually works. The Game of the Year digital trends, now like I said, they've put out a bit of a speculation, so without looking at that, I would have said God of War on the PlayStation 4. I would have said Red Dead Redemption 2, and I spoke about this. I don't think that will win Game of the Year. I would have actually put Octopath Traveler on there. Now that's not on this list here, but I would have put Octopath Traveler on there. It really did stir a lot of gamers' palette, I guess. I mean, people went crazy for Octopath Traveler when it came out. It sold out everywhere. It's such a beautiful game. I did an episode of Should You Buy. I really need to dive into it again, but that isn't actually on here. It seems like a lot of the conversation around with Octopath Traveler has actually died down. So we've got things as well on here like Spider-Man. So obviously the bulk of these, like Red Dead 2, you can play it on the PS4. God of War is a PS4 exclusive. Spider-Man is a PlayStation 4 exclusive. We've got Celeste on this list, on this particular list here. Now if you've not played Celeste, it's inspired by the 16-bit era. It's a game that I haven't played but I've heavily looked into. It's actually quite pricey. I believe you can only get digital versions on the Nintendo Switch, but it did, again, it was one of those games that kind of rose out of nowhere, and I don't think there was a whole heap of hype around it, and I don't think there was a lot of expectation of how good and how well received it was actually going to be. So I think that in terms of this list is a bit of a wild card. I wouldn't have put it on there. And then obviously Forza Horizon 4, which is an Xbox One exclusive, which really does tap into realism, dynamism. God, I mean, it looks stunning in 4K. Absolutely stunning in 4K. In fact, my uncle just purchased a white Xbox One X just so he can play that game. So nice one. It's clearly a console seller. Do I think it'll win Game of the Year? Not in the slightest. Now obviously within this list, like I said, there are numerous other categories that games can, win awards for, like soundtrack. Like here we've got best narrative, best art direction, best score / music, best audio design, best performance, games for impact, best ongoing games, best mobile game, best VR, so that's actually nice to have a VR category in there, best action game. I mean, the list goes on, best RPG, best strat. I mean, reading through this, it just makes me realise just how kind of spoiled we are. But I want to focus on that top list, game of the year. My list would be, I think it's between 3 games, okay? I think it's going to be between 3 games. I think Forza will be on there, Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption 2 and God of War. I don't think Forza will win, so I'm going to take that off. So I think it's down to the 3 games. So let me reflect on Red Dead Redemption 2, as a lot of you guys, like I said, have been speaking in my chat, believing that it's going to be Game of the Year. I don't, but I'm willing to eat my words if it is. And the reason I don't think it's going to be Game of the Year is because I don't think it's been out long enough. I don't think, I mean, there are people out there that haven't even played it or haven't had an opportunity to play it. That would probably be a better way to put it. They haven't had an opportunity to play it. It's very, very, very buggy. So I think that it does lack polish. So if it did win Game of the Year, I'd be very, very surprised, because yes, it has a phenomenal story. Yes, it has a beautiful script and narrative. Yes, it's gonna win awards. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that Red Dead Redemption 2 will win awards. I think for narrative especially, it's gonna win awards. I just think it lacks way too much polish to be Game of the Year. I think there are more refined games out there, like God of War and like Spider-Man. I do think that they're a lot more polished, but unfortunately I don't think it will win Game of the Year. But you might have a different opinion, okay? You might have a different opinion. It is clearly a phenomenal game, and I'm not bashing Red Dead Redemption 2 in the slightest. I think it's an absolute solid, for me it's a 9.3 out of 10. If they just patched the damn combat, like if they just patched the freaking combat and made it way more seamless so that I didn't feel the frustration, then I would be like, yes, this is Game of the Year. So that's that. I think it's between the 3. That's my first. Spider-Man. I think that is a strong contender. Now, yes, it is a PlayStation 4 exclusive, because PlayStation, it does have better exclusives. Sorry, Xbox fans, but it really does. Nothing against the Xbox One, but the PlayStation 4 always has had better exclusives, better storytelling. So when Spider-Man came out, I was kind of dead against it. I was like, this is so generic, it's so yeah, so cookie cutter, that I'm just going to stay away from it. But I did dive into it, I got sucked in, and I did stream it quite a lot in the beginning, and I really, really enjoyed it. The complaints within some of the gaming community were that it was very monotonous, and I can see why people say that. But for me, I think if you're going to binge a game like Spider-Man, you're going to feel like it's going to be monotonous, you know. There's only so much swinging through a city and going to various missions and leveling up suits. You know, there's only so much of that you can do before you start to feel like, wow, you know, this feels all too familiar. So my argument was, play it in smaller chunks, don't binge it for 5 to 10 hours, you know. So it's a great game. It looks beautiful, it sounds beautiful. The story isn't obviously as enriching as something like Red Dead Redemption 2. Spider-Man doesn't take itself seriously, but it never has, whether it's been a movie or a video game. Do I think it will be Game of the Year? I'm going to hold off on that question because I want to talk about God of War first, okay? So I'm going to hold off as well. I'm going to hold off on that answer. Spider-Man is definitely going to be up there. God of War. Okay, let's talk about God of War. The series got a reboot in 2018, and we are blessed to have it on PlayStation 4. Right off the bat, even in the menu, when you play God of War, you're looking at it, you know, I played it on my Pro. It just looks freaking stunning. I mean, Spider-Man looks stunning. All these 3 games I'm talking about look absolutely stunning. But I don't know, even in the menu I was like completely engrossed when you just swing your axe into the tree and then you get into the game and immediately, so yeah, camera cut out, sorry guys. So like immediately you are greeted with emotion, and the story you know, I don't want to kind of spoil it, but some you feel a sense of loss immediately when you start the game, and you feel emotionally attached to the game right off the bat. And to see the relationship between, you know, Kratos and his son, you know, evolve, and just it's phenomenal, and very similar to Red Dead. I think the narrative is beautiful. It's really well written, it's really well paced, it's cinematic. I mean, you know, it could quite easily be a feature-length film, that game could, quite a long film, or granted, but you know, it's just one of those games. I would go as far to say as God of War is jaw-dropping, and if you haven't got a PlayStation 4, then you're really missing out, mates. Honestly, you're proper missing out. Obviously it's going to look better on a Pro, but I think for me there's no question that it's one of the stronger contenders for Game of the Year. Now, I did say that who do I think will win the overall category of Game of the Year? I believe out of the three main games that I've mentioned, Red Dead 2, Spider-Man and God of War, again my predictions, my speculation, I believe God of War is going to take Game of the Year for the polish, for the visuals, for the pace, for the narrative. I think it really is like a whole picture. Like, for me, Red Dead lacks in combat, for me Spider-Man lacks in story, but God of War just has everything. And I was reading some sources online, and there were a lot of sources that were also making different predictions. And, you know, various organisations have had their Game of the Year, and it seems that God of War is quite a few Game of the Years for various organisations within the gaming community. So who knows, I'll eat my words if I'm wrong. I'm pretty certain that those three games will be in the top category, and according to digital trends, like I read out earlier, that mentioned the 5, the other 2 being Celeste and Forza, I think it's going to be God of War. So there we go, gamers. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your time right here. Please hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and ding dong your notification bell. I'm going to be live streaming, we've got videos, we've got retro game hunts coming, we've got absolutely everything, and I'm super excited. And thank you for all the support recently, I really, really appreciate it. But I'm going to leave you to it now, guys. Hope to see you in the comment section below, if not on social media. Have a good day. My name is Gemma. Take care. See you soon.